in Python? 14 data types. Can you repeat that once? Int, float, bool. Slowly. Stop, all of you. Don't shout like something else. Something else. Be rhythmic, right? Start. Int, float, bool, complex, str, bytes, byte array, range, list, tuple, set, Trojan set, dict, and null type. So last class we started with what data type? Fundamental data type started. In the fundamental data types, I said its purpose. The purpose of fundamental data type is to store single value. How many are there inside the fundamental? 4. Can you spell out? Int, float, bool, and complex. And last class we started with int. Int we started with. Come in. So next term, there int data type we started with, and there we set int data type purpose properties I started with in the last session. Int is one of the predefined class and treated as a fundamental data type. The purpose of int data type is that to store integral values or whole numbers or integer values, that is the numbers without decimal values. Example, SNO, account number, something like that. Moreover, I said students, some instructions how to write the notes also I said. Left side I will write instructions and right side I will write what? Output. I said the model of yesterday. Daily I need not write. And I said something. With int data type, not only the integer data you can store different type of number system values also. How many number systems are there? 4 are there. What is the first one? Decimal number system, by number system, octal number system, hexadecimal number system. And at the same time, I said decimal number system, what it will do, I said. What is the meaning of that, I said. Binary number system also, I said, very clearly explained. And what is the base 2? And base 2 literals, I said. How to write in the Python coding also, I said. How to use it. 0B data is called binary data. 0 capital B also you can use. And I said some sort of example also done. And the most important point is bin-off, I said, bin-off. Used for what is the predefined function, used for converting decimal, octal, hexadecimal data into binary format. I'll discuss separately, student. One more small example after this int data type is over. I'll give you some more explanation for you about that. Next, after that, octal number system also started with. There I said separately. How many digits are available in that? What is the base 8? And yesterday we understand this point. How to use syntactical, I said. 0O data, I said. And even though we wrote the data in the form of octal, it is given in the form of what? Decimal, I said. And moreover, I said the examples and the octal representation. And this is called invalid because it is going to contain what? 8, which is not a valid digit in 0 to 7. Okay. And moreover, I am going to take what? Hexadecimal number system in today. And yesterday I just posted to you decimal to binary, some calculation also I posted. And you might be remembering that. This side you see, left side. Conversion from decimal number system value to what? Binary number system. I gave some mathematical explanation. And reverse also binary number system value to what? Decimal also. Clearly, everything like a school days, like mathematical orientation it is given. At the same time, I gave you decimal to octal also I said. Decimal to octal also I said. Same mathematical version I said. Mathematical orientation I said. Reverse octal to what? Decimal also I said. This is what we discussed already in the class. And today we are going to enter into where? Hexadecimal number system we are going to use it. Shall we start up? Right. See students, binary number system is understandable by what? OS and processor during our program execution. And this octal is used by the microprocessor kits. And here we are using hexadecimal number system used. Now I am entering into this discussion now. Hexadecimal number system used in development of used in development of OS, operating systems, used in development of OS. Earlier binary is different. Binary number system understandable by OS. At the time of development of OS, they are using some numbering purpose. They are using which numbering they are using? Hexadecimal number system is using. So even when you get any error from OS, you will be getting the errors in the form of what? Hexadecimal format you will get it. Even in Python also, I will show you that errors. Very shortly, will come across. The OS will give you some sort of errors from OS side in the form of which one? Hexadecimal number system. So hexadecimal number system used at operating system level in the development of OS. Understand? Fine. And what will be the digits present in that hexadecimal number system? Like a octal number system contains something like this. Here also I'm going to write it. Hexadecimal number system. I'm just trying to write it. Hexadecimal number system. I'll try to carry here. The hexadecimal number system contains the following 7, 8, 9, and then next I'm going to write it. A, capital A or small a, anything is okay in the hexa part is concerned. B, and next C, and D, and E, F. So total how many digits are there? Total number of things are 16. 16. Total is what? 16. 0 to 9 how many? 10. A to F how many? So totally how many here? 16. So base is called what here? So base 8 literals are called what yesterday? Octal. Base 16 literals are called what? Yes. Base 16 literals are called. Base 16 literals are called what? Hexadecimal values. Hexadecimal values. Are you following? Now, how to represent this octal data? 0O. How to represent this binary data? 0B. How to represent this hexadecimal data? That is our concept now. I am going to write it here. In Python programming, to store which data? Hexadecimal data. Come in. To store hexadecimal data, the hexadecimal values, the hexadecimal values, the hexadecimal values must be preceded by a letter called what? 0x or what? 0 capital X. 0x or 0 capital X. Anything you can take it. 0x hexadecimal data I can write it. 0 capital X I can write it. I can say what here, hexadecimal data I can write it. Did you understand? Well, example also will go for it. Even though we write the data in the format of octal, binary, hexa, they are going to come in the format of what? Decimal format. In Python programming, even though we store the data in which format? Hexadecimal data format. Even though we store the data in hexadecimal data format, Python programming execution environment automatically converts what data? Hexadecimal data into what? Decimal number system data. It is automatically getting converted. I hope you are following this. So this is comes under which one? Hexadecimal. Now let us go to the programming now. Let us examples I want to introduce. Important students. In MCQs level, you will come across this, at least 1 or 2 questions will come on this number systems. With respect to which data type? Int data type. That's why be clear about this number systems. Have you practiced after going to home yesterday? Writing the notes? Practiced it? Got outputs? Anybody did not practice? Anybody did not practice? Everybody practiced. Definitely some people are there who did not practice. Correct? Who did not practice? Raise your hands. Good. 2 members. 3, 4, 5, 6. Next. Girls. 7. Girls. 1. If you don't practice, day by day, you are losing your energy in the subject. In the day one, see students, daily I don't say, my dear students, I said, this is a very serious point. After these courses are completing, what you will do next without reading? You decide it. Okay. Especially this class, once it is over, you try to practice it. If you don't practice and come to the class, after a few days, you won't understand the topic. 100% that is. And you don't know how much importance Python programming is having in real time nowadays. I'm just saying one thing. Next 30 years, there is no language is beating Python. Keep in mind, try to learn most perfectly. Once you know coding well, you can do everything. This is what is my final sentence. Online students, just disconnected. Students who are in online, am I audible, students? Is my voice is clear and screen is visible? Okay. Now some small disturbance in the class. Now let's move to the further. See, I don't know. It's my feelings. Openly I will share with you, especially boys. And girls, I don't speak to them for a few days. Later, I will also same rule is applicable. As a senior most faculty member, I am very much particular about my deep subject and your performance also. If you don't reply to me with answer, I'll call on the dais. 100% I'll make you to stand up on the dais until you answer my question. You may drop out from my class, no problem. No problem, no. Any problem, huh? Tomorrow, if you go to an interview, same question will come. That time, what will happen? You don't give any answer because you are fearing or feeling some insult of coming on the dais. That time, the same question will come. Will you answer? Huh? No. Suppose if you work hard in my class, you'll answer very well. You'll get job or not. So, which is good? Answering, asking questions in the class is good or not asking questions? Sir? You will encourage that property. You won't misunderstand, na? So you are welcoming that. Okay. So girls, I'll think about it before asking you. Overall question I will ask, but after a few days, compulsory that question will be coming to you also. Because in software industry, no reservations will be available. Available? No such reservations available. If you have good talent, always, irrespective of your qualification, you will be selected. Remove the cap. Now, very good now. Outside, keep the cap. Inside, let the subject enter into the brain. That's my advice. You also. No problem. Now, I'll move to the further. Now I'll go to the subject. If you move, generally in my all classes, if you move the head like that, I will ask you the question. You have to see on the screen and you have to look at me, you have to answer it. That's all. Okay, now coming and sitting in the class, chit-chatting with friends in my class, that will not work out. And the rules, and already I said, once again I'm saying, because batch is streamlined already. Already streamlined. Okay. 220 on the online and almost 215, 220 in the offline. That many admissions completed. Almost 440, 450 students are there. Daily 10 students are absent, 15 students are absent. We don't know that. That's what the report I got it today. That is a great strength. In every place, 50, 100, below 100 only will be there. So when the most of them are available in my class, I have to keep their confidence in the mind. I have to give deep subject. So utilize my class perfectly and move on forward. Okay, students, will you read the notes daily? Practice writing notes. Okay. So weekly once, I'll check your notes. I won't come and check your notes. Mentors are there. I will call them to check the notes of everybody. Boys mentors, girls mentors are there. I'll check your notebooks. So shall I intimate one day before to check the notes? I don't inform. If I inform now, that day you will not come. So you have your own plans. We have our own plans. Online students, I hope you are writing the notes. Please maintain that. Now I'll go to the example. Now I'll go to the Python environment. You know how to go to Python environment? All apps, go to where? Python here, Python 3.12, Python command prompt. This is your Python command prompt, correct? This is what you are going on and you started working on it. There I'm trying to say for more visibility part of the students, I'm going to take up something like this. Here I kept one shortcut and I kept something like this. I'll use for my more visibility purpose, something like this. 3.12 points, 3.12, 3.12.1. This is a up-to-date version now. Now I'll take it. A is equal to 0x 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 AC. 0x AC. What is this 0x AC is called? Something like, something like 0x AC is called what? Hexadecimal format. I want to tell you some small clarification here. Some small clarification here. This part, mathematically, I said yesterday, even in today's class also, I will tell you. What is this now? Convert decimal to hexa. Decimal to hexa. What is this now? Hexa to decimal. Fine. So I'll go for the things now. What is this now? Questioning. Question I want to say. What is this now? 172. 172 of what? 10. 10. Base 10 means what? Decimal. Of what I need to find out the? Of what? 16. 16. I just want to find out. Okay. How do I do it now? 172 of what I will do now, students? 16. 16 10 how much? 160. What is the remainder? 12. 12. And moreover, I forget to tell you one important point. What are those things now? As we are already aware of it, I'll come back. ABCD I wrote now. 0 to 9. ABCD. The A, internal value of A in hexadecimal is 10. 0 to 9 over. Next is called what? 10. That 10 is the value for A in hexadecimal. Don't think Unicode value. Unicode value of A is called 65. 65. In hexadecimal format, what is the value of A? 10. B, 11. C, 12. Next D, E, F. Good. Now I got 12. 12 means what here? C. 12 is equivalent to what, ma? C. Okay. Now I will go to what? 16. 16, 0, what? 0. What is that next? 10. What is this now? A. What is the answer now? 0 AC. That is called AC. What is the value of X, ma? What is the value of X now? AC. AC is the value now. Got it or not? AC is the value. So 172 is equivalent to what in hexa? AC. Go to this time. Question I am taking here. AC I am taking, which is called what? 16. Want to convert it into what? Decimal. Decimal. Come on, how do you take it now? AC spaciously you take it. 16 to the power of 0. 16 to the power of 1. A into 16 to the power of 1. And the next is what? Plus C into 16 to the power of 0. A value how much, ma? 10. 10 into what? 16 plus what? What is the value of C? 12 into what? 16 to the power of 1 is 1. 10 into 16, 160 plus what? 12. How much is an answer? 172. So X value is called what? 172. So 172 converted into what? AC. AC converted into what? 172. I hope you are getting the details about it. So I hope that you are understanding that entire part here. Are you able to understand? Yes. Students, now I am going to say A is equal to 0x AC. Even though I represent the data in hexadecimal format, it is showing in the form of what? Decimal. Print of what? A comma type of A. So this is called 172 of what? Int. So every hexadecimal value internally represented as which type? So int type not only used to store integral values or whole numbers or what? Integer data. It can be used for binary. It can be used for octal. It can be used for hexa. This is by default what? Decimal only. Got it up? So the overall yesterday and up to today, whatever I wrote it, it is something like what? Int is used for not only integer data to store, binary data I can store, hexadecimal data I can store, octal data also I can store. That is the purpose of each data type? Int data type. If I say only int is used to store integer data, that is, you know, only 1 point, 3 points you don't know. So deep subject learning is mandatory for you to select in companies. Only learning up and downs will not give you good career. It is my advice for you. Okay. Next, I want to get this data back to where? Hexa. How do I get it, students? Hex of what? 172. Yesterday's class, I said pin off. Next is what? Octave. Next is what today? Hex of. These are used for what purpose? Converting different number systems into what? Binary. Also into octal. Also into what? Hexa. So 172, that is giving to you 0x The smaller capital, no problem. Smaller capital, no problem. See students, what is the answer now? 0x Shall I go for next example? Well, see students, A is equal to 0 capital X PEE. Very regularly MCQs, these are all called 0x BEE. How do you write this calculation? BEE, take it as spaciously. What is this now, students? 16 to the power of 0, 16 to the power of 1, 16 square. B into 16 to the power 16 square plus E into 16 to the power of 1 plus E into 16 to the power of 0. What is the B value, students? 11 into 256 plus what next? 14 into 16 plus 14 into 1. 14 into what? 1. 11 into 256, how much? 11 into 256, how much? 2816 plus next what? 14 into how much now? 16, how much now? 224 plus what? 14. It is going to be collectively together is called 3054. 3054. Are you getting it? Getting or not? So when this calculation is coming, you have to multiply that. In multiplication, if you do wrong, nobody can save you. Multiplications also don't know means KVR sir cannot do anything. Nobody can do anything. You need to do proper calculation. Understand? So see the answer now. Please do this. So coming to the point back, here I'm going to say, hex of print of A, comma what? Type of A. Now got the data called what? 3054. Now here class what? Int. Got it or not? Yes. Now I am going to say hex of what now? 3054. 3054. It is the base conversion function called 0xBEE. Similarly, what are the things which are coming across in our MCQs level? 0x, 0x face, 0x face. You can take one capital letter, you can take one small letter, one small capital letter, etc. You take it. You know, is it valid or invalid? Come on, ma. Valid. Valid, I will say. Now print off this x, print off this x, comma, and you'll get some 64,000 change, you will get it. Do you know how to convert it? How do you take, students? Of course, you already understood already. FACE, 16 to the power of 0, 16 to the power of 1, 16 square, 16 cube. F into 16 cube plus A into 16 square plus C into 16 to the power of 1 plus E into 16 to the power of 0. So you are going to take this multiplication properly without wrong. If you do small mistakes in multiplication, we can't do anything else. Are you following me? So done. And you can get it back of what? Hex of what? 64,206. So you are going to get the answer something like this. Getting a? Well, now go for students asking one question. X is equal to FACER, FACER. Valid or invalid? Good. Why invalid? Come on, mom. R is not there in hexa. R is not there in hexa. A to F only is available. So it is called what? Invalid hexadecimal literal. Please improve your vocabulary to speak long sentences. R is called hexadecimal invalid literal. Understand, students? Well, now I am going to enter into the very recently one question. 0xB. 0xB. What is the value of B? What is the value of A? You're not intelligent, students. B value 11 now. B value 11. You're not intelligent. Direct question. A 10, B 11. I'm asking which answer? B. What is an answer? Don't know that. I really expected answer, but you are seeing something like a question mark. What, students? Now I'm going to write it something like this. Print of what? 0xF. No? 60 now. 15 is an answer. Are you following? Good. Now I am saying 0f plus 0b 1111. What is an answer? 30. 30. If you practiced yesterday, you will answer today. Yesterday I said 0b 111 is called what? 15. Yesterday I said this. If you don't practice yesterday, today is a question mark. You cannot answer and you will feel you did not understand. Daily practice and come. This is simple. This is 15 plus what is this? 15. Answer is what? 30. Like that. Suppose if I ask this question, you must able to answer this. Understand? Be intelligent. Try to improve by yourself. So I'm going to get these examples here. So let us move to the further. Here I'm going to take up. I will try to keep it. Left side something because more examples I need to cover. Theory is no meaning of learning. Simply there is no meaning of learning theory. Theory indicates no practical examples. Concept plus programming things are more required for you. To get the skill in the industry, to become a successful student in the MCQs and selection process, you must be good enough in coding. Try to keep that in the mind and then move forward. So here I'm going to say, this is a one, and I'm going to give some invalid input also. Invalid input also. Done. Now I'm going to take up this value here, A value, and I'm taking some F value also. Now I'm going to write something here also. Now last question I will ask you. I got a doubt about your performance. So calculation part also I will send you. Hexadecimal to what? Hexadecimal. That is already you are aware of it. The calculation part. Maybe the same thing I took it here also. 172 and done this operations. And AC is going to be done this operations. This also I will post it. Calculation part. Mathematical calculation part. Well, students, come back to this now. I'll go to this now. I'll ask one small question because these are all questions will come across in MCQs level. Now, try to answer it. 0x a plus 10. Answer. Invalid. Okay. Answer. And no, don't discuss with friends. Valid or invalid? Look at what is 10? Decimal. Good. What is 0a? Hexa. What is the value of that? Plus what? What is that? Why invalid? Do you think it is a binary? I'm not writing 0b there. What is an answer now? Don't overthink. If you overthink, na problems will come. Overthinking students also will be there. Right? So don't think too much. Think about the in a regular standards only. Okay? Shall we move forward? Okay. Now I will move to the another question. Ready to answer? Compulsory you will answer wrong. 100% you will answer wrong. Can I ask the question? You will answer. Online students, be ready. You face these interesting questions in my class. You ask these questions, any person who is available with you, any person. You search in internet also. I want to win your heart daily by teaching extraordinary subject. You try to enjoy by reading and coming to the class. Now, I will give hint for you. 0x data is called 0b data is called 0o data is called. Okay. No 0x, no 0b, no 0o is called. Good. Now, a is equal to 0, 3, 4. What is a? What is the type? What is the type of this a? Come on. So, valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? Valid. That is the wrong answer. That is the wrong answer. Because whenever I write 0, definitely it will expect some number system only. That is either X it will expect or B expect or O it will expect. If I don't write 0 at all, that is called what? Number system, decimal number system. Writing 0 before the number, there is no meaning of decimal number system. That's why it is going to give you error. This is also one question. What is that question? Consider a statement A is equal to 0, 3, 4. Option A binary, option B decimal, option C what? Octal, option D hexa. Everybody will go for what? D. D they will go. And that is called a wrong answer. Wrong answer. See the wrong answer now. Leading zeros in decimal integer literals are not permitted. Use 0O prefix for octal in integers or 0B. Example they are saying. They are saying example 0O, 0B, 0X. So valid and invalid. That's it. That's it. See, we'll think that we are good. But when I ask that questions, interesting questions, if you prepare that type of high-end questions, you can answer the another questions very easily. Understood, students? Well, now I'm going to say 0x data is called hexa. 0b data is called Zero data. Zero data. Syntax error. Zero data is called what? Syntax error. Zero O data. Octal. Zero B data. Zero X. Zero O values. Octal. Zero some decimal values. Syntax error. Syntax error. Decimal number system values. Syntax error. Are you following? This is, I'll write most important. Because you may be good in programming, but in MCQs only you are out. That time who will call you for programming? MCQs qualifying is compulsory or not? That's why. This is comes under what concept? What is this concept called? Interdata type. Next, I want to go for C students carefully. Data types, fundamental data types. Next, I'll go for what? Float. So, I'm going to the float data type. Before going to the float data type, I would like to cover one more important concept also here. Of course, programmatically, these are all programmatically very strongest points. So here, one more concept I want to discuss before the float data type, that are called base conversion functions in Python. Base conversion functions in Python. In Python, I am going to discuss. Online students, are you able to follow me? Did you understand this interdata type? Please respond. Lokesh Kumar, you asked some doubt, my dear student. I will answer it during your doubts session. Lokesh Kumar, you have some doubt, that I will answer it during my doubt session. Right. So let us, Lokesh doubt, I will keep it because he may forget. I will keep the doubt and I will read out the doubt at the end of it, because in the middle, if I take out, that will be there as a part of our class. I'll read out after some time. Right. Flow data type. Before that, I'm going to take up what now? Base conversion functions. So without this, as a purpose of notes I'm giving, and in the further, they will ask you, there is also one system tester. Write a Python program for base conversion calculator. What are the base conversion calculator? Decimal to what? Binary. Decimal to what? Octal. Decimal to what? Hexa. Next, binary to what? Decimal. Binary to octal. Binary to hexa. Next, hex. Oh, come on. Octal to decimal. Octal to binary. Octal to hexa. Hexa to binary. Hexa to decimal. Hexa to octal. This I want to save in the menu driven part. Enter your choice, which choice you want. I'll develop this. This is also one type of case study for you. Able to follow? So to do such type of hacker ranking related applications, we must be strong in the concept part. Okay, right. Already we learned it. Still, for the sake of the notes and programming, I'm going to say in Python programming, we have three types of base conversion functions. Three types of base conversion functions. They are, what is the first function? Binoff. Already you have done it. Come on, binoff. Second one is octoff. Third one is hexoff. These are the three functions. There is no function name called what? DEC of function is not there. Do you have any function DEC of? No. Why there is no DEC of function? Because by default, the number is called decimal only. So first I will talk about what? Binoff. I will explain first function is called binoff. I will explain. And syntax, everything I will give you. So let us move to the further about what? Binoff. I will take it as binoff. I will explain the binoff. Later I will go for the same mechanism. Online students, try to keep your fingers on the keyboard and try to write out what the functions I am writing. So here I will write it octoff. Next I will take up what hexoff I will take out. Third one is available. Third one is called what? Hexoff. Here. So I'm explaining as well as I'm writing the notes for you. So when you go to home, if you write your own hands, you'll get what? Good knowledge. There are some high-tech students are there, high-tech students. What are that high-tech students? They will download the notes, they will take the printout and they will put it into the file daily. Because I'm seeing in my classes, morning class, 2 students, not doing everybody. Out of 400, 2 to 3 members will do. They're called high-tech students. They'll keep the, like in the folder, they will go on keeping that. Every day, one printout or 2 printouts they will take. If you take printout, what will happen? Nothing will happen. If you write the notes and if you practice now, things will move in a good direction. Okay, students? Well, let's go for bin off. Now I'm going to say, what is the use of this bin function? Syntax, I'm going to write it. Always syntax. Variable name is equal to, variable name is nothing but what? Object in Python. I'm going to take bin off. What the bin function is doing? Decimal data can be converted. Decimal data can be converted. You can pass what data also? Octal data also you can pass it. Or you can pass what? Hexadecimal data also you can pass it. This is called the syntax. I am writing there. This function is used for converting what? Decimal data or octal data or hexadecimal data into binary. So binary. That's all. So for BCom student, for BSc student, for any student, this is a common. Still, if you don't understand, problem now. I'm going for down to earth. I'm explaining to you from the small, lower stage to the professional stage we are achieving with examples. So if you cross these things now, it's a problem for you. Now I'm going to talk about what? Examples. Examples I'm going to give you. Under that, we want to go for first example is what? Decimal to what? Binary. Octal to binary. Hexadecimal to binary. Go for the example. Go for the example. A is equal to what? 15. What is the 15? చూడంగానే చెప్పేసారు. By looking at it, you have to decide. Hexana, octala, binary na, decimal. Why? Because no 0B, no 0X, no 0O. It is called what? No 0 also. Just 15 is called what? Very good. Print of A comma type of A. Type of what? A. Int type. Now I want to convert into which type? Well, binary B is equal to bin of A. What is that A? Decimal data converted into what? Binary. Print of what now? B. 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 What is the data printed? 0B11. If they ask in system test, when you go to any company, they ask you, write a Python program for converting decimal data to binary data. Happily enter the number, get that number, use which function? Bin function, pass that data and get it into the result. Print that value, equivalent binary value of that X is called what? That result you can print it. Is it difficult? Suppose you don't know bin off. If I did not explain bin off, what is your situation, student? Mathematics you know, but they do. If you explain mathematics in the pen and paper, they don't take you. You have to write the code for that. Understand? That's why daily you compare your knowledge with other students, whoever is matching with you. Majority of them are there in our class only, but just sometimes if anybody is missing, sorry, is taking more days. Somebody is covering Python in 10 days, 15 days, fast track, super fast track, weekend batches. So many marketing techniques will be applied in educational institutes these days. Why? For marketing tricks. And students should not fall down in that danger zone. If they complete Python in 20 days, 15 days, what will happen? You only decide. Why we take 3 months of solid knowledge in Python? Should become a Pythonist. How to do that? NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, you will learn just left hand, left finger. The type of deep coding standards I will explain in the class. It's a unique class. Utilize my services thoroughly. Okay, done. Next, I am going for what? A is equal to 0, O. 0, O. I am going to take octal format. I am going to take up. Okay, now 17 I am taking. See students, which data I am giving ma? Octal data. Straightforward, I want to convert into where? Binary. Actually, I'm not telling the mathematics notation for you to convert into what? Octal to binary. I never bother also. Mathematics I don't want. What I do for your understanding, octal I am converting into what first? Decimal. That decimal I am converting into what? For your understanding, I am saying. Actually, not necessarily. Directly I can convert. This is my direct route, right or not? For your understanding, octal to what? Decimal. Online students, be careful, guys. And decimal to what? Take this data. Oh, 17. 17 means what? 8 to the power of 0, 8 to the power of 1. 8 plus what? 7 is called what? 15. What is the 15 I am converting into? Binary. So octal is called what? 0O17 is called what? 15. 15 in binary is what? 0B111. So directly this data is going to be like this. For your understanding, I said this thing. Got it, students? Good. Now I will say, come on now, some B is equal to, tell me, bin of what? A. What is the value of A? 0 or 17. Converted into that. Print of what now? B. See that this is the data we got it. Getting students? Yes. This is called what? Decimal to binary. Octal to binary. Next I am going to take up, here you take it, hexa. A is equal to 0x A. I am taking either capital A or small a. What is the capital A? Our job is what? Hexa. There is no hurry about it. Understand the techniques of how to get the subject programmatically. Hexa to where? Binary. We are not going for mathematical notation in the class. We are going to the programming now. For your better understanding, students, I am going to where? Hexa to decimal. From decimal to where? What is my data, students? 0xa. If I convert it into decimal, what is that value? 10. 10 to where? What is the 10 to binary? 1010. 1010, how you got it? You know, no? So all of a sudden 0xa is converted into what? 1010. Getting or not? Yes. Please look at. I will apply B is equal to what? Bin of A. So print that B here, 0B 1010. Got it? Take a bigger value also, students. 0x, A is equal to 0x, face you take it. What is the face value, ma? Face value, you have seen it already. Some 64,000 what? 206. That will be converted into what? Binary. Easy. So you see this now. Face. Sorry. 0x A is equal to 0x face. You convert into B is equal to what? Bin of A. Now print that value B, students. This is called the bigger number for what? 64,000 some value is available. Are you getting? So decimal to binary, see here, decimal to binary, octal to binary, hexa to binary. So I will go for this type of answer here. So here I'm going to print it. Here I'm going to print it. So some student is asking the doubt. You read out the doubt. Online students, I'm keeping the chat box on. Why I kept the chat box on? Because you have to understand their doubt. You have to answer their doubt. It is also going to improve your understanding power in the subject. Read out. And if they listen the class carefully, you will be getting it. How to print a decimal as it doesn't have any function? RYT. It is called your expressing your WhatsApp skills. WhatsApp skills you are expressing. How to print Shiva is asking, how to print a decimal as it does not have any function? You need to read my notes carefully. Any doubt is coming, that is a part of my notes. 100%. Look at where I represent. You see, what is that? In Python programming, if we, even though we store the data in binary format, Python program execution environment automatically converts into what? Decimal number system. Why? I already covered in my classes, high level programming, I said. Even though you represent the data in low level format, automatically it converts into the end user format. Already said or not? And why the doubt will come? So need to read my notes. And if anybody asking the doubt, if I don't respond, they will feel that sir did not respond. If I want to respond, I will show their mistake in the class. That is my nature. Because from my side, I should not keep zero mistake also. I'm a crystal clear explanation I'll give. Last day also, I'll show everything for you. I'll just win your hearts. Provided if you read my notes. Every point I wrote it. Even though we write the data in octal, Python programming converts into what? Octal data format to decimal. Here also I mentioned it. 3-4 times I mentioned it. So here I hope it is already done. Shiva, I hope so you understood. Are you able to follow? And one more thing, some student is Mamata is asking. I already said in the class. Again, same doubt. Already same doubt. 0A, 0xa, 0x small a. They designed like that. You should not question me why this is allowing like that. Because they taken the criteria like that. So why sugarcane juice is sweet? If you ask me, there is no answer because that nature is like that. They designed the language as what? 0x capital A, 0x small a. They gave both of them. Why they gave like that means what is an answer? That is not the way. 0xa or what? 0xa, both of them are same. They are saying, even in the class I said, Unicode of capital A different, Unicode of small a is different. I said already in the class. If such doubts are coming, I cannot do anything else. Are you able to follow? Now, go to the point of it. See, one more student is asking. See their doubts. These are all called what? Substandard doubts, and they should not feel. When I am converting into binary, when I am converting into decimal or octal hexa into binary, I need to know what? The data convert into 0, 1s, etc. or not? What is this data called? Binary. How do you know that it is a binary? 0b, 0x, 0o. If I don't write, what is the data? So there is some type of indication required or not? Suppose a is equal to 1010. What is the data? This one. It is a decimal. Why 0b coming means, see, these are all called, I will feel very much disappointed. 1010 is called what? Decimal data. Decimal data. A is equal to a plus 1, a plus 2. It is becoming what? What is the answer? 1012. 1012. Print of what? A. It is a 1012. If I write A is equal to 0B1010, then I will write what? A is equal to A plus 2. What is the 1010? 10 plus 2. What is an answer? 12. 12. Sorry. A. I will print A. Yeah. I will print A. 12. There is a lot of differences there or not? Why 0B means what can I say, students? This type of doubts will give you the understandability problem. If I don't answer now, they feel that sir did not answer. If I want to answer, I have to give this type of counterparts to the students. That's why genuine doubts are supposed to be encouraged. Please habituate to keep genuine doubts. If you ask some doubt, I'll keep the things what I completed, what is written already. My dear students, all the online students, please take care and try to interact with me. So I'll go for this now. Base conversion functions already done. Are you able to follow? Go to next what? Octal. Octal now I am going to. Students in the online, respond. Is this first one is clear? Is the first one is clear? Right. And Lokesh Kumar also having some small doubt. Sir, is there a way to programmatically to find the subtypes. I mean, trying to see how can I get decimal, hexadecimal as what output. I mean, what is asking programmatically find its subtypes in the sense system. I need some clarity on this question. How can I see that I get decimal, hexa, octal? Already notations are coming now. When I convert it into decimal, no 0b, no 0x, no nothing is coming. When I'm getting into hexa, I'm getting 0x, and I'm getting 0o, I'm getting, and binary, I'm getting what? 0b. Are they not called notations of them? That's what. If you carefully follow it, everything you can get it. And if you overlook my explanation, you will get the doubt and you will pose the doubt. I have to waste my time to speak on that. That's why any doubt you are posting, think twice and then post it. Now I'll go to the octave. Come on, syntax, same to same syntax. Now I'm going to take up, now I'm going to write it now like this. Syntax is what? Octave. Come on, what is this now? Decimal, binary. Decimal and what? Binary. And what next? Of. Are you following me? Yes. Now I'm going to write it. This function is used for converting which data? Decimal, octal, and this entire thing I will copy instead of typing it. Binary, hexa into what? Octal data. Examples I will take it. Examples I'm going to take it. Here I'm going to take up now. Understand? Go to the example here. Let us take. What is the data now? I will take it as 15. Converted into what? Octal. How do you convert print of A? Type of A. That is called what? Int. Now I'm going to take it. B is equal to OCT of what? 15. Maybe you are already aware of it. 15 into octal format. That is called what? 8. What is this now? 7. And this is called 8, 0, 1. What is the answer now? So here I am printing B. I am saying this. What is this now? 0O17. That indicates what? Octal. Got it up? Similarly, go to the next. A is equal to 0B 1111. What is this 111 is equal to? No tension at all. Binary to what I am going for? Octal. Binary to octal, you may not be knowing mathematics, but for your better understanding, you convert bin into what? DEC. DEC into what? So what is your data now? 0B111. It is going to become what? 15. 15 into octal is already set 0O17. For easiest understanding, I am saying that. Now go to the place. Print of what? A. You want to print in this A, you print it. It is printing in decimal format. Now you go for converting into what? Octave what, you know, students? A, which is called binary. And I am converting into B, I will print. B, I will print it. It is going to be called what? 0O17. Which one conversion? Binary to octal. Decimal to octal. Next I am going to say A is equal to 0x. Some E I am taking. 0xe. Take the conclusion. Hexa. Hexa to where? Octal. No need to have any tens there. What is this now? DEC. DEC to what? What is this data now? Come on. 0xe. E is nothing but what? 14. 14. 14 to what? Octal. 14 to octal means like this. 8 1. What is this now? 6. 8 0 1. What is the answer now? So come to the point of it. For your better understanding, type of A 14. B is equal to what next? Oct of A. And print of what now? B. You are getting what? 16. Are you getting this? This is about conversion of different values now, different values. So here I am going to write it, getting this data into, by default, it is coming in decimal format. And this is a data. So here I will go for it. This is one conversion. Binary format, binary to decimal I am getting. That decimal part I am getting into this. It is obviously getting into what? Binary to what? Octal. Next is called what, you know? What is this next? Hexa. Hexa is getting like this. Now I'm going to get it this data having something like this. Understand this? This is about which concept? Octal of. Oct function is done. Next is called what? Hexa. So hexa, it's very simple. Now I'll carry this syntax. Now go to the hexa. Simple, students. Now you see variable name. Come on, what is the syntax now? Hexa, decimal data, octal data, or let it be binary only. Here I will take it what, ma? Octal. Octal I will take it. Done. This function is used for converting decimal data, binary data, and next is what? Octal data into hexadecimal data, hexadecimal data, hexadecimal data, followed by examples. Examples. From this conversion, compulsory few questions will be coming in interviews. That you must remember this coding now. Go to the place. A is equal to 10. A is equal to 10. Now say print of what? A. That is 10. I want to convert into what? Hexa. B is equal to what is the function name? Hexa of A. What is the value of the 10 in hexa? Come on. 0xa. That is subject. A goes. B goes. Come on, answer. 0xa. So 0xa. Whether small or capital or, that is both of them are same. There you may ask a question. Sir, you said variable names are case sensitive. You said. I am not taking variables here. I am talking about a value. This is the value I am talking. I am not talking about variables here. No doubt in that. ORD of capital A is called 65. ORD of what? Small a is different. That is 97. I am not talking about normal alphabets. I am talking about 0x capital A, 0x small a. Both of them are, they are giving same. They are giving same notation. They are giving, they designed like that notation. Okay. So coming to this place. Next I am going to enter into what? A is equal to what next? Binary. 0B, 0B, 1110. 1110. What is this binary? Binary to where now? Hexa. To feel difficulty, go to where? Decimal. Decimal to where? 0B1110. What is this 110, students? 110. 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 square, 2 cube. What is this 2 cube? 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0. 0. 0 into 2 to the power of 0 is called 2 into 0 into 1 is that. So it is called what? 14. 14. 14 to decimal is what? E. Getting? 0xe. Correct. 0xe. So go to the place. Print of A. In decimal part I am printing. And now B is equal to what now, students? X of A. You print what now? P. You got 0xe. 0xe. Understand? If you are too much interested to print capital E, that also I will tell you, don't worry about it. If you are too much interested, I will print that. I'll print that. Still, I will print that data into what? Upper half, I will write it. Upper half, I will print it. 0xe also I got it. I will print that in green color also, yellow color also, red color also, whatever you want, I will print it. I'll tell you the techniques for you. 0 in one color, E is in another color, X is in different color. I'll show that. Understand? So I'll tell you so many things. I will just explain Python like anything for you. It's a different, I'm a unique in your life. Utilize my services. So get a doubt. but think twice before posting. That is my request for everybody. Go to that. Here I am going to say, because for every doubt I will respond, because I am so committed to your career. For every doubt I will respond. Whether it's good or not, I will respond. So I'm not overlook your doubts. I'll respond. But it should be genuinely to ask. Now, this you try to remove. Go to the place. Next one, I'm going to say, what is the next one? Octal. Come to A is equal to what? 0O17. 0O17. 0O17 in decimal is what? Come on, 15. Come on, B is equal to what next? Hexa of what? A is equal to. Yeah, equal to. Print of what? B. What is that now? 0xF. 0x. Only F to be printed in capital letters, or that also I will print. That also I will print. See that also I will print. -1 dot upper of I will print it. -1 of upper of I will print. Only that also I will print. Mickey, what you want except oxygen creation, everything I will do with Python. Except oxygen creation, everything I can do with Python. Even including emoji symbols also I will design. Emoji. Emoji symbols are there in your mobile. If your friend is saying something joke, you will say laughing symbol, serious face symbol, red face symbol. There is a module called emoji. What is the module name? Emoji. Using that you can design. So go to the place. Now I'm going to say this also. I'll keep it. Only thing is read and come. Rest of the subject part I will take care. Done. Fine. This is comes under what, students? Base conversion functions. What is an FAQ? What are the base conversion functions in Python? What are those? 3. What are those? Bin-off, oct-off, hex-off, x-off. Right. So what is the question in system test programmatically? Write a Python program which will convert different number systems into different number systems. First of all, you need to know number systems. How many? 4. 4 different conversions. Understood or not? I will write a coding for that. So you must remember what is the main thing? Library. What is the library? Functions you need to remember. Bin-off, oct-off, hex-off. Difficult, huh? No. If you practice after going home and next day coming, stronger you are. That's all. Okay, students? Fine. So, Sakshi is saying that, sir, last example I did not get it. What is there in last example? 0O17. 0O17 is what? 17 is what? 8 to the power of, this is first you need to convert into that 8. What is this now? 8 to 8 to. So first of all, this now octal is given. We need to convert into what? Hexa. So I said that technique. Octal to what? Hexa. I said convert into what first? Decimal. Decimal to octal to decimal is nothing but 17. 8 to the power of 0. 8 to the power of 1. 1 into 8. 8 plus 7 into 8 to the power of 1. 7. 7 into 8 to the power of 1 0 means 7 into 1 is equal to what? 15. So 0O17 is converted into 15. 15 is in this is called what? 0xF. Capital F or 0x is what? Small f. Already done. Sakshi, I hope you got it, ma. Are you following the students? Now, this is about which data type? Int data type and different number systems you got it. Okay, na? Well, now I'm going to enter into the further concept. What is the next data type? Float. Float data type I'm going to introduce. Start now, float data type. Online students, respond. Is it clear about my topic so far? Is it clear? Respond everybody. Respond. ఈ స్పెషల్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ పనికిరావు నా క్లాస్లో. This special effects is not good. Keep the special effects in the back. That will distract the people's mind. Right? Done. Shall we move forward? Boys in the back. Clear or not clear? Clear. Don't say like that. Please open the mouth. Otherwise, I'll take a picnic to Hussain Sagar once there is a Gautama Buddha statue is there. So keeping silent in the class is not correct. So I'll go for what? Float. Now start. All of you. Properties. Properties of what now? Float. Simple. You already understood int data type perfectly. Float is very easy for you. This float I am telling specially for one important point. Other than that, you already know. What is int? You are out of order. Read out the first sentence. Similarly, float is one of the predefined class. Is one of the predefined class treated as which data type? Good. Very well. Now one question I will ask you at this stage, because these are all FAQs. Now look at all of you. Ready to answer? If is equal to 12, if is equal to 12, valid or invalid? Good. Why invalid? It's the keyword. Good. But it is not my question. I'm asking the question. I'm preparing to answer the question. Now I'm asking while is equal to what? 45. While is equal to 45. Valid or invalid? Also invalid because it is a keyword. Good. Now my question is int is equal to 45.67, 45.56. Valid or invalid? Come on. Invalid or valid? Invalid. That is invalid. Your answer is invalid because all the students and most of the people says int is a keyword. They will say int is a keyword. That is a blunder. Int is not a keyword in Python. Int is a keyword in C language, C++, Java, .NET, etc. Int is called what name? Class name. Class names are, after all, they are called variable names only. Class names are, after all, what? Variable names. You can use that variable names. Sir, can you show some proof, sir? What the int is that class? Already I shown you int class. I'll show the library of int class also. First, everybody, not only you, they will think that it is invalid, but it is a valid. Class names can be used as what? Variable names. And class names are not keywords. Look at, this is valid. Valid. What is the type of int? Float. Come on. Int comma, type of int. Type of int. What is that? 45.56. What is this float? What is this float? You see once again, float is equal to 45. Valid or invalid? Valid. Print of what? Float comma, type of float. What is this now? Int. So int and float are what? Classes. Can I use them as variable names? Yes. So you can show to interviewer. If they still don't accept it, that's why I'm telling to you. Once you are going to an interview, after listening this complete classes, go to an interview with a laptop. Good. Interviewer is saying that you are saying wrong. You are saying that you are correct. Then what is the proof to prove that interviewer is wrong? That's why go to an interview with a laptop. Going to an interview with a laptop require a lot of subject in your brain. Will you open the laptop in front of interviewer? Come on. You will not. Why? Generally, you will not. If you open the laptop, interviewer almost understand is good at subject. Now, already I shown you import what? Keyword. Already shown in the class. Import keyword as k dot kw list. Kw list. You see all of you, there is no int, float, bool, etc. Nothing is there. Do you have int, float and etc. here? No such things are available. One more time, help of int. Int is called what? One class name. See that now. Please look at now, students, what I said. Okay, 1 minute, why I got that thing is, I changed that name. I changed that name. See how much structure is there for that. I'll close this. I'll come back. I'll come back to this line once again. Already you understood that keywords list. Now I am writing what you know. Help of what here? Int I will say. What is int ma? Come on. What is this int? Class. Class name. What is the class name? After all, you are taking your own variable name. That's why class names are not keywords. Keywords list I shown you. Class names are not keywords. So let us come out of that. All those things I'll explain. Double underscore, something is there or not? All those things in one stretch I can explain. So many are there. I'm going on pressing enter key. How much document is there? You can learn in one stretch. I will explain double underscore, some concept is there. I'll explain them. Shall I move further now? Let's start. Is it clear? What is the float? Float is the class name. Treated as which data type? Right. Some of the interviewers will ask you, do you have double data type in Python entered? Do you have double data type in Python? No. Why? Why there is no double data type? You have to tell. In Python, all types of values are stored in the form of what? Object can store which data? Unlimited amount of data. The float data can store one data type of float category can store smaller value to very biggest values it can take. One data type is enough. More number of data types not necessary. Did you understand? Int is enough. Int, short, long, byte, long, signed long, those data types like C language not necessary. Why? Int can take smaller value to what? Bigger value can store. Int smaller value to bigger value can store. That's why int is enough. Long, short, byte, those data types not enough. Not necessary also. Are you getting, students? Well, come to that. What is the use of this float data type? Now I am writing the next step. The purpose of which data type? Float data type is that to store real constant value. Real constant values. I'm using IEEE 754 base paper calculation. Of course, it is too early to discuss with you that type of thing. IEEE. Have you heard about this IEEE? What is IEEE? You heard about it. Okay. 754. This is electronics engineers will release some type of base papers for any computing theories. From that point only, C developers, so C++ developers, so Java developers, so Python developers, almost every language developer will follow this base paper concepts and they will design the languages. So this word I am taking from that place. Real constant values. What is the real constant value in mathematics? Anything in the form of P by Q where Q is not equal to 0 is called what value? In a simple word, in your understandable format, 22 by what? 7 is called 3.14, etc. So many digits are there. This is called integer part. This is called decimal part. This is known as what? Real constant value. This also called as what? Floating point values. Floating point values. Are you following me? Such type of values. Nothing but what? Numbers with what? Numbers with what values? Decimal values. Numbers with decimal values. Numbers with decimal values we can call. Numbers with decimal values are called what? Floating point values. Are you able to follow? Let us go for one small example also I will cover. One small example also I will cover here. Let us look into that. So the example, still I will write some more points, which is for that point only I'm going to concentrate. Go to the place. Now I'm going to write it. A is equal to some 12.34, 2324. Print of what? A comma type of A, which is called what? Float. A is equal to some 0.4. Print of this A is called 0.4 float. A is 10, B is 1.2, C is automatically A plus B. What is this now? Print of A comma type of A is int. Print of what next? B comma type of B is called float. And obviously C comma type of C is called what now? Yes, type of C is called what, float. Integer plus float is called what? Float. So who is having more int or float? Int plus float is called float only, because float is having additionally some decimal places or not. So int is always a subset of what? Int is always subset of what? Float. So keep in mind, further I need this point. Are you able to get me? Well, next, the most important requirement I am interested is, I'll keep the left side instructions, right side outputs. This is my data. This is the data. And this is another example. Int type, float type. This is a float type. And I got it. This is a value I'm having 11.2. And this is my result. Getting or not? Further, most important, for this point only I'm coming to this line. Now students, and one of the most open secret which I want to show you now, one small point I want to say. 3.14. Print of what? A. 3.14. You don't think that 3.14 is 3.14. Internally, there are a lot of hidden digits are there. Just for your further, I will explain. Further, I will explain. 0. Something like, 0. Some 15 F I am writing, and I am writing percent of A I am writing. See that 3.14, still the data is available like that. I am increasing the deep of the decimal places. See that after the 000, having some more digits are present. I will write some 35 I am writing. See that some more digits are available. Now I will write some 45. Of course, you cannot understand what sir is doing. But 3.14 is not 3.414 always. It is internally deepest, what is there? Decimal places are there. Another example. 3.4, print A. Print A. 3.4 is not 3.4. It is a 3.399999 internally. See that. That is IEEE mechanism I will tell you in the class. Still 3.4 only. You go for that. It is having what? See that immediately changed it. Are you following? Next you go for 35. Again it is changing something like this. And don't get tension what sir is doing here. What I'm saying is floating point values are not fixed on the same. They are going to differ in their decimal places when I'm going to expect more number of decimal places. Understand? But when I go to A is equal to 6, print of A, it is 6. And you say A of 15 of 6, 6 remains 6 only. See that 6 point only. When I say this 25, 6 only will be available. When you say some 6.35, still it is available like that only. So integers will have fixed nature and floating point will have what? Variable nature will be there. This point just to keep in mind. Further, I will take care of that. Are you able to get my points? Now, next I am going to look into one more thing. In Python programming, there is one, of course, it is possible in other programming languages also. In Python programming, this is also one of the important version in the data science level. Float data type can also stores scientific notation data. Lalit Kumar is asking, how much long these values will be there, sir? Can you answer that question? Can you answer that question? No, ante meeku radana etla? If you say no, what is the meaning of it? You have to answer it. That is also already implicit. If you listen my class, Python stores unlimited data. How long means what? It is not a C language, na? 15 decimal places, 20 decimal places. It is not a C language. It can store what values? Unlimited number of values. Do you have any long of that? No. You can have what? Unlimited number of decimal places can store. That is the elegancy of Python. Already addressed now? Yes. So Lalit Kumar, I hope you got it. Now I will move to the further. In Python programming, float data type can also stores scientific notation data, scientific notation, scientific notation, scientific notation. That's all. Have you heard about scientific notation in your school days? If you say yes, I will move. Otherwise, I will explain. Have you heard about scientific notation? No. Okay. You studied schooling? Completed schooling? Okay. Everything completed. But if I say something, you will feel it. Now I'm stopping. I'm stopping that. The notation of scientific notation is, I'm saying the notation. The notation of scientific notation is mantissa. Have you heard about mantissa? No? No? Okay. E, exponent. Have you heard about this at least? Okay. Half, remembering half, not remembering. Huh? Okay. Now I'm going to say mantissa E exponent. This format is known as what? Scientific notation. For example, I'm having, this is very important, 0.000000000001 or 0.0005. Some number, I want to say something like that. My Python will not store such a big number in the memory of creating so big memory. It is going to show in the short format. Very short format it will store. That is called which notation? To minimize the memory space. To minimize the memory space. For that purpose, short scientific notation is useful. Direct question in MCQs. Now I will say the mantissa into exponent. This is a general notation of scientific notation. Sir, how do you take it? I'll go to my program. A is equal to 3E2. 3E2. What is 3? చెప్పాను కదమ్మా, mantissa. What is that next part? What is this? E. When this format is given, they will ask you what is the equivalent float value. Float value. You have to convert mantissa into E stands for 10 to the power of what? Exponent. Exponent. And I will convert float value to what also I will convert? Scientific notation. Scientific to float. Float to what? Scientific. Go to the place 3E2. What is the 3? Mantissa. 3 into what is the E? 10 to the power of what? 3 into what? What is an answer now? 300.0 is an answer because scientific notation data is always floating point data. For this coverage only, I want to tell you. A comma type of what? A. What is the answer is coming? 300.0. Which type? This is called which notation? Scientific notation. For representing which data? Do you know how to convert into this? One more. A is equal to 3 or something 10 E minus 2. 10E minus 2. Come on. 10 into, what is the E? 10 to the power of minus 2. 10 by 10 into 1 by 10 square. 10 by what? 100. So 1010, 1 by 10 is called 0.1. 0.1. Are you following me? A comma type of what? A. What is this now? 0.1. Which type? Float. Getting? Now be careful, students. So scientific notation automatically convert into what? Float. Now A is equal to 0.00000005. Such a big number my Python don't want to store. Such a big number want to store it into short format to minimize the space. C. Print of what? A. If we go for C, C++, it will give error because it cannot hold that many decimal places. Comma what? Type of A. It is going to print 0 point etc. is there. Last digit you will take 5. E minus some 60, 16, 5e minus 90 na something will take. What is the meaning of this? For example, assume that 90 zeros are there ma. What is this e minus 90? How do you write it? 5 into 10 to the power of minus 90. That is 5 by what? 10 to the power of 90. 5 by this 0, 0, 0, 0 is nothing but 0 0.000 or not. So see that now. What is the answer is coming? 5e minus 64. Is it a scientific notation or not? Which data this is? Float data. Converted into which notation? Did you understand this meaning? So float data type stores which data? Float data type stores which data? What is the notation there? What is the notation? Mantissa E exponent. Exponent. Whose equivalent? Whose equivalent? I'm writing. Whose equivalent floating point value? Whose equivalent floating point value is equal to? Tell me. Mantissa into 10 to the power of 10 to the power of what? Exponent. Exponent. Are you following me? 10 to the power of exponent. I'm just writing here. Are you following? Good. What is the advantage of scientific notation, students? It takes what? Less memory space for storing bigger floating point values. The advantage of which notation? Scientific notation is that to take less memory space for what? Biggest which values? Floating point values. Are you following me? That's all. This is comes under what? Floating point data type. Clear up? And one more thing is, of course, you can understand this is a new point for you. Here, go to this point. A is equal to 0b1010 dot 0b1010. You cannot understand this as what? 10.10 is understanding is the wrong thinking. 0o17 dot 0xac is called wrong thinking. Are you following? That means you should not think that it is an integer part. You should not think that it is a decimal part. You see that it gives a wrong answer. That means floating point data type never supports what? Directly to represent what? Number systems. A is equal to 0x acc dot 0o12 is also called what? Syntax error. So this also important to remember. So I'm writing here this point I'm writing, and above point also I want to carry this points also. This also I will carry. So here you go to this place. Here I will say scientific notation related data. So this is a point, positive number to the power of, and a negative number to the power of, and a bigger notation here, scientific notation, the value represented like this, and this is going to be an error. This is going to be an error, and this is also going to be an error. So float data type does not allows us to represent directly number system values. Are you getting, students? So I'm writing here float data type will not allow the programmer to use binary, octal, and hexadecimal values as floating point values. As which values? Floating point values. This is a point I want to say. It takes only what? Decimal number system values. So it takes only which values, ma? Same number values. That's all. Decimal number system values. That's all. Are you following me? You may have a doubt, sir, if 12.34 is coming, I want to convert into binary. I will convert this into binary. I'll convert into binary. I'll tell you the technique for it. Are you following? I'll tell you that. I'll tell you the technique. 12 separate, 34 separate. I'll go for joining both of them. There is a separate explanation I will give you. Okay now? Got it up? So how many data types we learn? Int and then what? Float. In 5 minutes, I can complete int and float also. Int is used to store integer data. Float is used to store float data. Over. That is equal to your previous education. But what I am discussing, I already said, you should get as it is in the sense, same concept, same fundamental, same deepness will come in MCQs. System test also you will get from my notes only. MCQs also from my notes only. Remember this one. I'll give my number also to you at the end of the class. Why? For guarantee purpose. Read the notes, practice, come. Daily you need to attend. One day missing, second day coming means you'll go out of order. That's my point. Tomorrow I'll go for what? Bool and complex I will explain. Bool and complex. Don't speak it as a boolean. Bool and boolean. Bool and what? If we say to interview what are the data type of Python? Boolean if we say, they will type directly boolean and they will get what? Bool. Boolean is the wrong answer. Bool is the correct answer. You have to speak fact of what? Practical skills of your programming. Okay, students? So I'll stop my class. Tomorrow class I will go for bool and complex. Don't miss the class. Is it understandable? 6:10, 7:47. Growth is there. Happy? Getting? Right. Thank you. All the best.